Hello, everybody. It's Josh coming at you again from Nerdvengers Tower. It's lovely to be live with you on this Friday morning. This is our full spoiler stream for Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We're going to talk all about it. Going to talk about my feelings about the film, the things that I liked about the film, some of the things I didn't like about the film, and also all the juicy Easter eggs, teases, crazy things that are in the film. So definitely spoiler warning. I know many of the people that were saying, what's up on Discord this morning, they're not going to be able to check the stream out because they haven't seen it yet. So there'll be probably many Nerdvengers watching, this stream on replay. So if you're watching this on replay, I hope you still find this really enjoyable. I hope you like the film, and let me know your comments on the film. Comment on this video. I'll check out the comments. I want to see what everybody thinks. Okay, so first of all, let's just kind of say that right off the bat, I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. And I'm going to sort of go through some of the things I talked about yesterday in my reaction video. I did a spoiler-free reaction video right after I saw the movie. And I've now slept on it. I've now thought a lot about it. And I really enjoy the film. Now, one of the things that is, I think, unique to my experience, at least, as I was looking at the comments, there were two main things that people in the comments were saying for my reaction video. One of them was that what I said about the third act of the movie seems to be the reverse or the opposite of what a lot of other reviewers, YouTubers, whatever, have said about the movie, okay? So let me take you through what I said and why I said it. So what I said was, I was kind of on the fence about this movie. I liked it, but it wasn't like anything special to me. Although very enjoyable, I was like, okay, whatever. It's just another Marvel movie, not even top 5 movies, Marvel movies, maybe not even top 10 Marvel movies. And then at the third act, when it goes into the third act, and then when it has that crazy ending, to me, it elevated the movie a lot. And I was worried that we were going to be going into your average MCU ending, right? I was worried that we were going to be getting, just the big fight between good and evil. It's just like a bunch of crazy people fighting all together, and the good guy wins the day, right? What I thought they did at the end of that movie was really, really interesting. And it's anchored in the Wen-Wu character and where he is at as a character and where Shang-Chi is at as a character. And what I'm talking about is, of course, the end in Tao Lao, where that's, this mystical realm. It's revealed to be this mystical realm that is hidden within this forest village that you can get to, and it's housing this evil creature, okay? This creature known as the Dweller in Darkness, and oh, baby, do I have a lot to say about the Dweller in Darkness. I actually have a very big video that Elisa is currently editing right now, all about the ending of the film explained and the post-credit scene explained. It's crazy stuff. It's way crazier than you guys think of. We're going to get into that a little bit today as well. But when they introduced this concept of this hidden demon thing for all intents and purposes, and the fact that this demon was tricking Wen-Wu into coming into this village to try to save his love, this person that he loved so much, and he's being tricked to do this. You can kind of see that he is doing this thing for like almost a positive reason, right? And it's interesting because it's him and Shang and their mother, or his mother, Tony's or Wen-Wu's wife. And they both love this character. They both have a lot of admiration for this character. And Shang-Chi realizes that his dad is being duped and that his dad is doing this because he thinks that his love is there. And to me, there's all this crazy CGI stuff going on, for sure. And there's all this like crazy sort of, in some ways contrived good versus evil fighting that's going on. But at the core of this ending is this father-son dynamic and an inability to face reality because of loss, because of great loss and pain. And there were things in the ending here that mirrored some of the other moments in the movie that, again, without a crazy good ending to me, were just okay. Like when Wu meets his eventual wife for the first time, and they have this fight that kind of becomes a dance, very much reminiscent of some of the things that are in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but also in House of Daggers, and even in Hero. Like some of these like really really cool kung fu kind of big movies that came out of China. There's this sort of combat as a dance and two lovers fighting as a dance. And to be honest with you, the first time I saw it in the movie, I was like, it's whatever. But then when it gets mirrored at the end of the movie between father and son, and you're sort of seeing just a lot of this, it's just incredible acting. And I said this in the video last night. One of the things that the MCU does incredibly well is they get great actors to nail home important human moments in these movies. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this movie, but it is literally a lot of non-verbal acting back and forth between these two characters, these two actors, these two men at the end of the movie that shows this relationship, and to me really paid off a lot of the stuff that happens throughout the film. Yeah. The moment when, of course, eventually the Dweller in Darkness breaks out and absorbs Wenwu. And that moment, like, this is why you get Tony Leung, and he killed it throughout this entire movie. But this is why you get Tony Leung, just him staring at his son. And there's some interesting, like, cool shot effect things going on here, but him just staring at his son as his soul is leaving his body, and he's just witnessing his son, realizing his mistake, but seeing the man that his son has truly become. And I think in some ways seeing his wife in his son, it's almost like he's like, okay, well, I can't get my wife back, and he realizes that at the end. But he also realizes that in a way he did get his wife back, because he can finally see, like, his wife and his wife's training and a lot of the things that he admired about his wife in his son, which was awesome. I mean, this movie's really, really about family, like Vin Diesel, family. I got family. You know what I mean? But in a really, really cool, kind of interesting, unique way, with, cultural notes from the East, of course. And I loved it, man. For me, I'm a big high fantasy fan. I'm a big fan of, like, freaking dragons, crazy stuff like that, all kinds of fun stuff out there. And this was an example of how to do that kind of stuff and elevate character moments and character struggles through the lensing of fantasy and stuff like that. Not to mention, it just frankly looked dope as hell. You know what I mean? It frankly looked dope as hell. And I think it elevates itself beyond a lot of other contrived endings in the MCU. Like, to me, the ending of Black Panther, not that great. You know what I mean? Not that great. Even though Killmonger, amazing, and the sort of relationship between him and T'Challa, amazing, it becomes this weird CGI fight thing. I totally lose track of everything. It feels very contrived. There's a lot of endings in the MCU that are functionally okay, but contrived. And I think where I disagree with a lot of other people, because a lot of other people said, oh, the movie's incredible, but then the third act is pretty weak, and it becomes this basic contrived MCU thing. To me, the sort of twists on this lemon, the sort of changes and shades that are given to this crazy high fantasy thing, the dynamic between brother, sister, daughter, father, father, son, and all kind of anchored in the loss of this mother, this like matriarchal figure. It was really, really interesting. So to me, I felt like the ending was incredible. Visually stunning, delivers on that level, and also just kind of, again, is like a nice little sealing up of everything that came before it in the movie, okay? So that's one thing that I sort of said last night. Hey, look, it's just my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion. It's just my feelings about it. Some of you guys may disagree, and we'll get into Q&A and all that as well. But the other thing that a lot of people took issue with or were surprised by in my reaction was the fact that I actually don't think the fighting in this movie is as good as people say. Now, let me explain this, because as always, nuance gets lost on the internet and everyone just freaks out about these kind of things, okay? So let me just try to, like, explain where I'm coming from here. And I'd love to know your thoughts about this, of course. But here, let me tell you. A lot of people were saying This is the best fighting in the MCU. It's the best hand-to-hand combat in the MCU. The combat and the fighting in this movie is off the chain. And it is off the chain. However, and let me just try to bring this point. Everybody calm down. Is Mike Porter somewhere hyperventilating? Tell Mike to calm down. Mike, I like the movie. Relax. Okay. Let me explain. To me, there are great fight scenes in this movie. I thought the bus scene was phenomenal. I thought the ending scene, as I just said, the fight between Shang-Chi and his father, incredible. Absolutely mind-blowing. But a lot of the sort of kung fu fighting throughout the film, which is actually more sparse than I think people realize, it, to me, was not as good as many other things that came before in the MCU. And Winter Soldier is a big one. Winter Soldier is, well, first of all, Winter Soldier is way better than this movie, period. Hands down. But the action sequences in Winter Soldier are also better than the action sequences in this movie, to me. Now, the cinematography in this film is very wild and elaborate. It's cool. It's really, really cool. But the choreography is not as good as other MCU movies, including Black Widow. And I know that triggered some people when I said it in the video yesterday. I said, you know, the even scenes in Black Widow are better choreography than this movie. You got to separate it. Cinematography and choreography. Okay? What are we talking about? We're talking about two different things. I made the example yesterday in the video that, to me, the cinematography of Shang-Chi actually distracts from what could have been much better, and maybe was better, choreography. What I mean is the camera's flipping around, doing all these crazy things, trying to catch these different angles, like the fight outside of the, the building at the combat center thing that Zhao Ling has. You know, that scene is visually cool, but the combat in that scene is not that great. It's definitely not as good as some of the just clean-cut choreography that we see in other MCU movies. I rewatched portions of Ip Man last night as well. Just to go back, I was like, am I missing something here? Am I crazy? And I watched some of Ip Man, and no, man, like, it's just straight facts. Like, great kung fu choreography doesn't need detailed cinematography. You just set wide angles and you catch beautiful art and choreography. And I think that's when action sequences, especially great hand-to-hand action sequences, are at their best. When you are just pulled back and watching these people go at it in a really well choreographed way. The cinematography, to me, got in the way of it. It's not a super big deal, but it is something that people got all butthurt about and got mad that I said, and I agree with it and I stand by it. This movie, the action is great. The fighting could have been better. For sure. Now, again, the caveat here is that the bus scene's incredible. It has great choreography and cinematography. And the ending scene is incredible as well. But people that are coming out here saying, like, this is the best action, the best fighting in the MCU, I just personally disagree. Okay? So, one last thing that I'm going to talk about that's a little bit negative, and then we'll get into all the positives. And I see all the super chats. Relax, everybody. We'll get into the super chats at the end of this stream. We're going to talk all about it. And I even want to do some call-ins, and I want to talk to some people. So if you're a member, check out the Discord. I'll explain it all later on in the show. We'll get some people to come in and do call-ins, okay? So, the only other thing that I didn't quite like in the movie, and I do think held the film back, was Awkwafina's character. And look, your mileage may vary on this. Maybe you're a huge fan of Awkwafina. To me, like, I'm sort of impartial to her. I'm not really familiar with a lot of her work, really. But the character of Katie, to me, she's cool. But her being in all of this movie made little to no sense to me at all. And I didn't understand why she was still there. Like, the movie just kept moving, and I kind of kept being like, why is Katie here? Right up to the fucking mid-credit scene, where I'm like, what is the deal, bruh? Like, am I missing something? With the Katie character? Please enlighten me, chat. Am I missing something with the Katie character? Is there a reason as to why she was in all these different scenes, in all these different parts of the film? Because that was hard to suspend my disbelief around. That was really hard to suspend my disbelief around. I was like, whoa, okay. So she's still here. Okay. All right. Okay. Still here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. But other than that, and those are really the only two things that I sort of, and not even dislike, because the fighting thing is just an observation, but it tended to be things that people were upset about. And then the Aquafina thing is one of the things that I didn't enjoy. Now, other than that, loved it. Loved it. Loved the movie. Again, it's a really, really fun ride. It's about family, right? It's about family. Really fun ride. Great action sequences. And I really, really enjoyed the movie. And I thought the mysticism and the elements around it were fan-freaking-tastic, okay? Simu is an incredibly strong point of the movie. Great performance. And the thing that I really liked about his performance was that, you know, he's so hilarious and he's so funny and quippy. And I was afraid that maybe we'd be getting a little too much Peter Parker in his character, in his portrayal. But he's actually really focused. He brings a lot of powerful energy at the end of the film. Goes real hard, goes real alpha at the end of the movie. Like that scene you see in the trailers where he's like, "Is this what you wanted?" Like, yo, he brought it. He brought it in those scenes. Okay? So, loved that performance. I'm really looking forward to much more of him in the MCU. But yeah, Tony Leung was incredible in the movie. Those two together, that sort of, that relationship, man, it's very, very impressive, and it's a big part of what was going on. Now, let's talk about some other things that are pretty wild, yo. Pretty wild. What's up, Mike? Good to see you, brother. Pretty wild stuff here. The early leaks for this film were way off. Way off, okay? And we thought maybe there was going to be this tournament, right? A big old tournament, like a Bloodsport-style tournament for the 10 rings or something like that. Bro, we were so wrong. We were so wrong about that, man. We're so wrong about that. And you know what? Now, to me, I think I understand why they put the fight between Wong and Abomination in the trailers, because they sort of, I think in a way, they were feeding into those leaks. They were feeding into it, like getting people to think, oh man, this is going to be crazy. I can't wait. Like, who else is going to be in the tournament? Are the vampires going to be in there? Remember Spiral? The X-Men Spiral was rumored to be in the movie. Remember those days? So that part of it was way off. But I didn't really mind at all. You know what I mean? Like, look, do I want to see a Bloodsport tournament style kind of thing going on in the MCU? Absolutely. But I didn't really necessarily miss it in this movie, right? It's a family tale. It's this tale of mysticism. It's this tale of loss. It's this, yeah, it's intriguing in a different kind of a way. But I thought I'd mention that because, dang, bro, usually leaks is pretty cool. Usually the leaking community is onto a lot of different things. We were way off on that aspect of the film. Now, I technically knew this several weeks ago when the movie came out because the leaks were all, the real shit was already out there, and I had read the plot and everything, and I was like, okay, wow. No tournament. Okay. Interesting. Now, having said that, the fighting place in that place with Zhao Ling and with Benedict Wong and Abomination, so interesting. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk. Josh, the rumors are always way off. Taz, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? We literally have been spot on about so many things. The leaking community is spot freaking on, dude. Taz, I don't like your face. I'm going to be honest. You just pissed me off. Probably going to ban you forever. So it's been real, Taz. Good luck out there in the world. But Wong and Abomination is a really, really interesting part because he's seemingly talking about how they planned this together, that they're getting the Abomination to learn how to pull his punches. And it seemed like when they left, and they do leave together through the sling ring, that they're going into some kind of a prison or containment area. And so it's possible, and I saw some people talking about this on Reddit, that it's possible that Abomination is in prison, but maybe Wong and he have some kind of relationship. They're working on rehabilitating him or something, and he's breaking him out to go do crazy kung fu fighting like this to make a bunch of money. You know what I mean? It's possible, and it's possible that that's what's going on. I find that to be pretty interesting. But regardless, really, really quick in the movie, Abomination's kind of in and out, and it's gone. You know what I mean? But very, very cool nonetheless, and pretty intriguing. Like, I'm really interested in what kind of theories spawn out of this, what people think about this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty interested. I'm interested in a lot of that stuff. So, that part was pretty freaking cool. And let's talk about Ben Kingsley. Let's talk about Ben Kingsley. What do you guys think of Ben Kingsley? What did you think of that whole part of the movie? Because I loved it. I thought it was great. But I was also like, why the fuck is Awkwafina still in this movie? You just got the best comic relief ever. You got this incredible actor. Love Sir Ben Kingsley. Why do you still need Awkwafina in this movie at this point? But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. So that aspect of it was pretty cool to me. I thought it was really funny. I have no earthly idea why this mystical creature from this realm can only communicate with freaking Ben Kingsley. Like, what's that about? I don't know. Just roll with it. You know what I mean? Just roll with it. He was incredible in the movie. He was hilarious. Added a lot to the film, actually. Very, very cool. So that aspect of the movie was really, really fun. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else that we missed. What else did we miss as far as full-on spoilers and breakdown for the film? I think I've talked about sort of my feelings about it. I've talked about the things I liked, the things I didn't like. Should we get into the real crazy stuff? Should we get into the real crazy stuff? Maybe it's from all the drugs he took? Maybe. Wouldn't that be interesting? So, this demon thing, man. The Dweller in Darkness. Let's talk about it. Here, I'll pull something up here. Let me pull something up here. I'll pull up the thing here. Oh, shit. Wait, what's this? No, this isn't what we're looking for. This is Simu talking about release the Snyder Cut. Oh, dude, no, we can't. No, we don't want to show that. Here, change it, Chet. Oh, it made me bigger. Okay, yeah. We don't want to show people that. I don't want to upset anybody, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to ruffle any feathers out there. So, let's talk about the Dweller in Darkness. So, check this out, man. Dweller in Darkness. Look at this Cthulhu-looking motherfucker right here. This is crazy, dude. Look at this dude. Cthulhu-type head. Robot-type body. Who is this dude? Let's check it out. Like each of the Fear Lords, the Dweller in Darkness was a mystery. And his origin, or even his very existence, was known to few. The Dweller in Darkness was a demon, originating from the dimension blah, 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 blah. He was the embodiment of man's collective fear. The Dweller turned his back on his people, following the way of Saint-Bleu. In disembodying his head and existing in physical form, the Dweller considered Nightmare to be his cousin. Yo, that's my cousin. A designation Nightmare rejected, knowing the Dweller's full origins, and stating that he had no cousin, and especially not the Dweller, for he had chosen the way of Saint-Bleu. Nightmare, according to the Dweller, degraded himself by adopting his shape and living in exile among the lower universes. Okay, let's check this place out. What's this place? Everini. Everini was a universe higher than the sixth dimension, also described as a dimension that where originated the Dweller in Darkness and Nightmare. The ectoplasm desins of that dimension can follow the way of Saint-Bleu, disembodying their heads and existing in physical form. Nightmare despised that way, and though himself, according to the Dweller, degraded himself by adopting his shaping, living among the exile of the lower planets. So this was a universe higher than the sixth dimension. What's the sixth dimension? What's the sixth dimension here? Yeah, let's not get too lost down the rabbit hole. So, look, this dude, Cthulhu-type monster, okay, in the comics, okay, and he has connections to Nightmare. He also, I believe, has connections to one Galactus. Yes. And we'll talk more about that in the video that I have coming out, because I think this Galactus thing is real. But what a crazy, interesting thing to put a character like the Dweller in Darkness into the end of this film. Pretty bizarre. Wondering what you guys think. Now, we also, of course, after Dweller is defeated, we cut to this scene where Katie and Shang Chi are talking about their experiences with their friends, and then Wong shows up. He shows up and he's like, Shang Chi. He's like looking for him. He's like, Bueller, Shang Chi, anybody. And he gets him and Katie to come into the sanctum. There's this crazy mid-credit scene where they're talking about the 10 rings. They're talking about how when Shang-Chi put the 10 rings on, it was felt by the sorcerers of Kamar-Taj. But there's no information on these relics in the books or the archives of the Sanctum and of Kamar-Taj. Okay? Now, Bruce Banner, who's chilling there in his human form, and oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. He suggests that it could be alien technology. And he's talking about how, is it maybe Shatari? Captain Marvel, who is also there, says she's never seen anything like this in the galaxy before. There's some indication that it's the relics, the 10 rings, are way older than the 1,000 years that Wen Wu had them, and that there's some kind of a beacon being sent out from these objects. Okay? So, number one, we might be getting Savage Hulk back. Because obviously, putting Bruce Banner there and not having Professor Hulk, it means something. It means something. By the way, Mark Ruffalo, just a couple of days ago, retweeted the picture in the article about him meeting Oscar Isaac and possibly being in Moon Knight. And he said, as a person that's really connected to Phase 4, blah, 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 blah. Look, the Avengers and Professor Hulk, now just Banner and Hulk again, are going to play a big part in what happens next with the Avengers. Mark Ruffalo is going to pop up in She-Hulk. I think he's going to pop up in Moon Knight. I think he's going to be responsible for bringing in new members of the Avengers. Keeping an eye on everybody. Bringing them in. So that in and of itself is pretty cool, but it's also dope as heck that we could be getting Hulk back in his savage form. Now, there's questions about, why is Banner's arm still in the sling? Maybe, the snap just destroyed his arm, and even when he goes back into Hulk form, he'll have, the arm. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that maybe when he goes into Hulk form, the arm is healed, and the damage just on Banner, but we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see how they work that out. There's also no real indication as to why they had to re-separate. It could be something to do with Hulk and Banner degradation. Who knows? But it's cool, man. Look, a lot of us... Look, I liked Professor Hulk, but I was also like, man, can we get the Savage Hulk back? I was really hoping this was something Marvel was going to do, and it's great that they did it. We're getting back to the Savage Hulk, hopefully, right? Now, Captain Marvel, she seems to be more involved with what's happening on Earth, even though it seems like she's still out in space. She's still out in space doing space things. And maybe she just got a call about Secret Invasion or something happening in the Secret Invasion show or in her movie with the Marvels, right? But it's good to know that she is not just going to be out there. She's going to be communicating with people on Earth. I know some of you are like, I hate her. I hate Captain Marvel, whatever. I don't really hate the character. Brie Larson's kind of annoying, but the character's all right. You know what I mean? So like it's cool with me. I'm into it. Like I'm glad that this is sort of the direction they're going. And it would be stupid if they just dropped the Captain Marvel thing completely and just went in a different direction. That would be stupid, right? So I know some people out there are like, bro, no, Carol Danvers. Yeah, sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. It's happening. The very end post-credit scene shows his sister taking over the 10 Rings. And the 10 Rings are going to continue to be a big part of the MCU. They're going to return. The 10 Rings are going to play a big role in what's going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see him versus sister, something a little bit more out of the comics. Her running the 10 Rings. That's interesting, but she ain't got the 10 Rings. How they going to I don't know. Regardless. That's going to be really, really interesting. So that's sort of all the breakdown stuff of all the crazy things that are in the film. I loved that part of it too. All the juicy Marvel stuff that's being built up. I really enjoyed it. Wong seems to be playing a huge role in the MCU moving forward. And I love it. You love to see it. I think Benedict Wong is an incredible actor. So overall, man, really good movie. Now, let me talk to you about the theater experience. I saw many of you being like, are you going to see this movie again in theaters? I will not be seeing this movie again in theaters. Okay? And I was going to see it in theaters again, and then I saw Patty Jenkins' comments, and I was just like, oh, fuck her. And fuck all these movies, and fuck these Hollywood people. No, I'm just playing. The truth is this, man. I had a good time in the theater yesterday, but there was a baby in the theater. Like, I didn't make this shit up. There was a literal baby. Somebody brought a baby into the movie theater. And especially in the end when it's, like, really quiet and there's these, like, cool scenes that are very atmospheric. It's a freaking baby crying in our movie theater. On top of that, the screen that I was watching it on, I could tell they didn't have the right bulbs in there. That shit wasn't popping. That shit wasn't bright the way that it should be, the way that it would be on my OLED. And frankly, man, our theater was busier than I thought it was going to be, but empty seats everywhere. You know what I mean? Empty seats everywhere. And I heard the guy behind me talking about how shocked he was that the theater wasn't packed. You know what I mean? He's like, this is the first showing of this movie. I can't believe this isn't packed. You know what I mean? And, you know, we have the poll going on right now. And it says, was your theater packed with people? It's split 50-50 right now. Okay, it's split 50-50 pretty much. So some of the people are like, yeah, it was packed where I was, and that's cool. But, like, I know a lot of people seeing it in very empty theaters. And we'll just have to keep an eye on the numbers, man. We'll have a better idea even sometime today. They'll talk about what it did in Thursday previews. They'll talk about what it did in Friday. And then, honestly, by early Saturday, we should have an idea of what it's going to do for the weekend. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about it on Monday. You know what I mean? And I hope the movie does well. I do. My gut tells me it will underperform. Yeah. And to me, like, just being real, like, while the movie was really, really cool, and it was really fun, and I had a good time, there was not enough juice for me personally to be like, I need to see that again, and I'm going to have to go to the theater. Like, to me, there are Marvel movies that are straight up masterpieces or very important to the canon. So it's one of two things for me. It's either, whoa, this movie's mind-blowing, a la Winter Soldier, a la Infinity War, right? But there are also other movies that are just like, dude, this is a very freaking important movie, and I need to see it again to, like, understand what's fully going on with these movies, okay? And I don't think Shang-Chi has either of those things, for me personally. So I will not be seeing it again in theaters. I'm a one and done on this. And I'm interested in if you are doing that. Are you going to go see it a bunch in theaters? Are you a one and done on it? I don't know. Let's talk about it. But I know that was something people were curious about. It was really close to me, man. It was really close. It's an 8.5 for me out of 10. If it was a 9 out of 10, if it was a 9.5 out of 10, then absolutely I'd be back in there in the theater. But to me, it just misses on that kind of a thing. And again, it's a convenience thing. And there's just so much crazy stuff going on in the world, so much fun stuff to do, so much entertainment out there that, yeah, there's plenty of stuff I'll occupy myself with. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. That's what it is for me, ladies and gentle beings. So we're going to shift now into Q&A. I'm going to go over all the super chats that came in, and we'll be talking about that. If you've got a question, you want to throw it in as a super chat, feel free. I'll answer every single super chat that comes in within reason. I should mention, as I always like to mention, that this stream is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Get a VPN. Get Surfshark VPN. Use code NERDS at checkout. 83% off, 3 months free. If you're not doing it, you're being that guy. It's really not smart, man. It's not a smart thing to do. You understand? It's not a smart thing to do. And, of course, this stream is brought to you by the Nerd Vengers, the lovely folks you see in this chat with the badges by their name. They support us. They keep the lights on here in Nerd Vengers Tower. And there's a bunch of fun stuff that comes with being a Nerd Venger member. You get access to all these dope emojis. You get access to that dope badge. You get behind-the-scenes streams, which, by the way, yes, we will be going at noon today for the Prime members. 20% off our merch store. I've been told it makes you feel a little bit taller. It brightens your smile. Makes certain attributes of your psyche more powerful. Like, people told me, like, bro, like, I signed up just to support the channel. I woke up the next day, and I ran a 10K. I don't know where the energy came from. It's amazing. Or, like, some people will reach out to me and be like, yo, I became a Nerd Venger member. Just wanted to support. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I went on to become a stockbroker the next day, and now I'm making millions and billions of dollars and sailing around the world on my yacht. You know, thank you so much, Josh. And I'm like, it's all good, man. I didn't, your side effects, may vary. But, yeah, becoming a Nerd Venger, probably the most important thing you'll ever do with your life ever. So not to oversell it, but if you care about the well-being of yourself, your family, friends, and the world at large, become a Nerd Venger today. All right. Let's get into the super chats. Here we go, ladies and gentle beings. Let's see what's on all of your minds. I can't wait for everybody to be like, why are you being so negative? Okay. James Matumbo was the first in with 100 rupees. And he says, Shang Chi was a decent movie. VFX in the film were wonky, and apart from the bus fight, action was disappointing. Why is every final act a CGI fest? 6.5 out of 10. Hey, I understand where you're coming from, man. I thought a lot of the action was not necessarily, it wasn't disappointing. Like, that's not the way I would say it. But it was not as hyped up as people were saying. Like, people were saying it's the best action movie since The Raid. Dude, get the fuck out of here. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And if you watch incredible Kung Fu, if you're a real Kung Fu junkie, man, you know what I'm saying. You've seen the dope Kung Fu. And there's great stuff in here, but it wasn't at that level. And I just felt like that was a weird thing that happened to me, where I felt like people did overhype that part. Mate says, only 2 empty seats in the theater. Cinema experience forever. Sick movie. Acting and fighting were great. CGI had issues. Some parts were cliche. 7.5 out of 10. Nice. I'm glad you liked it, brother. And I'm glad that you had a full theater. Full theaters can be really, really fun. And that experience and that atmosphere can be great. You know, one thing that I really liked about the theater experience, actually. So there were the 4D seats in the theater. We didn't sit in them, but we sat close to them. And we got some residual vibrations from the 4D shit. And that was kind of fun, man. That was kind of fun. That was interesting to me. Let's see here. Michael Phantom says, $5 holla says, rings connected to celestials, soul eaters connected to many angled ones, them calling Wanda not her kids. I think it's Galactus, bro. You'll have to watch the video I do later because it's dope. But I think it's Galactus, man. And as far as the Soul Eaters connected to the many angled ones, that's possible. I thought Mephisto would pop out, man. I was actually hoping Mephisto or something would pop out of Shang-Chi. That would be so funny. What if it was Ralph Boner? Like, he broke the door down and Ralph Boner walked out? Wouldn't that have been kind of fun? Mark Robertson with a $5 holla says, this is a top 3 Marvel movie for me, behind Endgame and Ragnarok. Very interesting. Until No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, so visually pleasing. Best MCU origin story. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon? Damn, dog. I was going to let you have that till that last part. Come on, man. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon? I mean, we were about to take Mark serious, and now we know he's an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. You know what I mean? No, I'm just playing, dog. Look, that's great, man. I'm glad you like the movie like that. I liked the movie as well. I don't think it's top 5 MCU for me personally, but it was a damn good movie, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here. For me, there's a lot more. I got so much enjoyment and so much just like giddy fun thinking about where it's all heading and liking the sort of guiding force that's going to take us there. Yeah, man. So for me, I really, really liked it a lot. I'm glad you liked it that much. Michael follows up with, also, I need more Trevor Slatery in my life. Yeah, surprised how much I enjoyed him in the movie, you know? Because I was like, what the fuck? Like, they're going to... When I read it in the leaks, I was like, okay. But that's why, you know, you just don't know until you watch it because, like, I was like, nah, right. And then you watch it and you're like, dude, damn, this really works. Like, it works. He's hilarious. He's hilarious. Tobin says with a $5 holla, my boss switched her Saturday for my Friday, so I'm finally able to catch a stream live. FCGI fights, give me real choreo, and you shall take my money. Yeah, and I'll say that it was the ending. Again, I just really think the ending was much stronger than Black Panther's, which is crazy because I think ultimately Black Panther still might be a better movie. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but they're on that same level to me. Like Black Panther and Shang Chi, they're on that same level. But the ending of Shang Chi was so much stronger. It's like there were elements of Black Panther I thought were dope and really, really cool, but the ending kind of falters, and you're like, okay. But Shang Chi to me again was the opposite, where I was like, okay, I'm riding, but whatever. And then the ending was like, bam, dude. It was really cool to me. So yeah, really, really cool, man. Thank you for the support, Tobin. Mike MCU Rules Porter says for a $2 holla, a beautiful, awesome movie. I'm awestruck. Yeah, I thought it was really cool, man. I had a great time in the theater. Can't wait to watch it again on digital because I think, again, those effects and the visuals are really going to pop. You know what I mean? Like, really, really going to pop. So, yeah, I'm into it, Mike. I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother. Really and truly, I am. Scott Owen with a $5 holla says, didn't like all the flashbacks and stuff. Found it a 4 out of 10. That's interesting. That is interesting. I liked it a lot. You know, there was a little bit of this, though, that's probably really unique to sort of my experiences. Like maybe a lot of you know this, but many of you don't. So my father's a martial artist, and I grew up kind of in dojos like my whole life. And so there was sort of this interesting element of watching the father-son relationship and him training and all that sort of stuff that you know, it kind of hit me in the feels a little bit. So it was pretty interesting. But yeah, man, I can understand you not liking the flashback stuff. I feel you, dog. Alex says with a $5 holla, worst part of the movie is the damn friend, and they really let her shoot the arrow shot at the end. I don't know, seemed dumb to me. Yeah, that part of the movie I really didn't like, but it wasn't enough for me to not like the film. It was just kind of a weird element. Like, for real, like, someone please explain to me why she's in there. Like, the whole time. What? But again, not enough for me to really get upset about it. But I totally understand it, man. I agree. I think it's dumb. Zachary P. with a $5 holla says, bro, Strange is going to be pissed when he finds out Wong has tuna melt money. Well said, my friend. Well said. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Ryan Armele says, off work today. Able to watch live. Love to see it, brother. Glad that you're here. Hope you liked Shang-Chi if you saw it. And if not, what are you doing here? Michael Smith with a $5 holla says, when's the last time you did an MCU tier list ranking? I'd be curious to see where Shang-Chi fits. I loved it, but not top 5. I like What If more. I think Loki is the best thing. I really like No Way Home, but let's just count that in the Infinity Saga. I think Loki is the best thing Marvel has done since the Infinity Saga when they wrap that up. That's just my opinion. And this was something I was actually talking to Elisa about on the car ride home, where I said, you know, that was really cool, but I kind of want to start seeing Origins on a Disney Plus show. Like I'm pretty intrigued to see what they do with Moon Knight and introducing that character through like a 6-hour to 8-hour lensing. Because while I liked this movie, I wanted to live more in some of these moments and in some of this, like the world. You know what I mean? And I think with a show, you get a better opportunity to really flesh out some of those things and really go there. You know what I mean? So for me, really, really cool. But I was kind of thinking, I'm thinking the Disney Plus and the shows is going to really change the game for Origins. You know what I mean? Emo Joe says, Ruffalo looking pretty rough. Hello. Nice. Semi-retired. He does look a little rough. Like he looks older. He looks tired. You know what I mean? Like he looks like life has taken a toll. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Emo Joe says, let's not forget about the DBZ reference. Kamehameha. Yeah, they said, or Kamehameha. Yeah, they said that at the end of the movie. I thought that was really, really fun. I think the dragon thing's really dope as well. And yeah, there was some fun Dragon Ball type references. I saw like Danny Geekdom 101 was tweeting about how it's a way better it's a way better Dragon Ball movie than even obviously Dragon Ball Evolution. That movie was horrible. But yeah, there's some exciting stuff here, and it would be kind of cool to see Daniel Crichton perhaps take on a live action Dragon Ball movie or something like that. You know what I mean? It'd be very fun. Alex says, seems goofy to just get rid of Hulk's only arc. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah, I guess a little bit. You know what I mean? That's, I can see that a little bit. I'm with it though. Hey, whatever you got to do to get back to Savage Hulk. That's where I'm at, bro. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to get back to the savagery. Mike House says, it's still a pass for me. Sounds like it's another good MCU movie, but no one sold me on my need to see this in theater. I'll just wait 45 days. Yeah, to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be a douche, but arguably the movie's kind of skippable for MCU canon. You know what I mean? Like, if you really love the character of Shang Chi or you want to like know his origin really well, and like it's a good, fun movie, but in the sense of the actual canon of the MCU, you probably don't even need to watch this movie, which is weird to say, right? But like, it's true. You know? So I can totally understand your feelings about that, Mike. I am, I'm not there with it, but I understand your feelings. I'm not seeing it again until it comes out on digital, but that's just me. John says, with a very generous $10 holla, says, saw Shang-Chi in a packed IMAX theater. A couple bought seats on each side of me and my brother. I'm going through a breakup myself. I felt compelled to let them sit together. It was a good escape from reality. Aw, man, that's sweet, John. That's cool, brother. That's really cool. A nice gesture on your part. It was a good escape from reality. Yeah, no, I'm glad you liked it. I really am. Again, my theater experience was not that great. I wasn't bummed. Like, I didn't get upset. But, bro, there was a fucking baby in there. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, there was a fucking baby in there. It was weird. I was like, oh, my gosh. And again, I just will repeat a little bit of what I've been repeating. I think the convenience factor, having it right then and there, having it the way you want it, it'll win out in the end. I'm interested to see what this movie does in theaters. I really am. Let's see. Adam with a $5 holla says, nothing. Or maybe you used invisible text in your message. Louis with a $5 holla says, just dropping off a care package, about to go see Shang-Chi. Thanks for the laughs, and now shut up and take my money. Not here for the spoilers today. Okay, I got you, brother. Yeah, come back after you've seen it, and I appreciate the support for real, for real. Cam K with a very generous $10 holla says, in my opinion, with exposition, it didn't have enough. I wanted to know way more about the mystical stuff / rings and how they work. In my opinion, Doctor Strange explained magic better than this explained mystical stuff. I can't argue with you there. There seems to be a lot of stuff left up to the imagination in this movie, for sure. I wonder how much of that is like them just wanting to stay away from that because they're still figuring some elements out. Is there something to do with audiences in the East perhaps not liking some of that stuff? I don't know. It's interesting. Casey Watson, very generous $20 holla, says, gonna see Shang-Chi tonight with the fam. Can't wait. Have lunch on me and enjoy the holiday weekend, Josh. Much love. Oh, yeah, it is a holiday weekend. Should we not make content on Monday? I'm just playing. We'll be back at it Monday for sure. Thank you so much for the love, man. I really do appreciate it. So, I'll tell you what. If you are a Nerdvenger, go to the Nerdvenger only part of the Discord. If you would like to jump on a call with me, let me know in that Discord. I'll pick a couple of people. We'll do a couple of calls, and we'll have some people call in, and they can tell me how they feel about this movie or what they're thinking about the things that I have said. So while you guys do that, I'm going to check the chat and just see what people are saying. Lindsay Duid says, sorry about Duid. You call it skippable, but have no idea what's coming next, my man. Oh, no, I have a very good idea of what's coming next, actually, Lindsay. And the post-credit scene is integral to what's happening next, I think. But it's more so integral than the movie. I guess what I mean is this movie is really just about, like, this character, his father, this whole thing. It's an origin. It's a true-ass origin story for this character. But I guess what I'm saying is, in the wider scope of the MCU storytelling, this movie's not really that necessary. It's only necessary in the sense that you'll have a deeper understanding of this character and how he'll function in the stories moving forward. You know what I mean? Do I recommend seeing it in theaters? I can't really answer that. I mean, look, it's obvious at this point I am on the side of streaming in this weird war that we are in. You know what I mean? And I thought it was so funny, for real, that Patty Jenkins came out and said that streaming movies aren't real movies. You know what I mean? Like, what? You made the most not real movie ever in Wonder Woman 84. It was a streaming movie. I know it wasn't your choice, but it was a streaming movie. And I find that to be ironically hilarious. You know, and people that are like trying to say like, oh, dude, she knows what she's talking about. Like, Patty knows what's up. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, bro. Like, it's so ironically hilarious for that lady to be making that statement about movies. I'd probably just shut the fuck up. I'd probably just shut the fuck up about that one if I was Patty. But yeah, regardless, do I recommend going to see it in the movie theaters? I will say this: if you love going to the movies, go see this movie. It's a great time in the movie theater. It is. It's a great time. If you like going to the movies, you're going to love watching this movie in the theaters. If you love the MCU, you'll probably love watching this movie in the theaters, okay? I personally felt like I was held hostage by Kevin Feige and forced to go sit in a dark theater with a friggin' screen that wasn't bright enough and a frickin' baby next to me. I personally feel like Kevin Feige did that to me. But that's just my opinion. That's just my feelings about it. So, I don't know. Does that answer the question? Does that answer the question? And by the way, I think it would be so funny if Patty's Star Wars movie got released on Disney Plus. I think that would be hilarious. I think it would be hilarious. That's just me. Austin Boyd with a $5 holla says, was Abomination from another multiverse? Why did he have gills? Because I think he is... Oh, the Thursday night numbers are out? Let's look. I'm going to check it out. Why does he have gills? Because he's evolving. I think he's changing over time. I think that's the request, or that's what they're going to do with that. Hang on, I missed another one here. Adam follows up with a $10 holla. Says, attempt 2. The Wong/Abomination seemed forced, as Marvel was like, we need some type of connective tissue quick. They definitely put it in the trailer to try to bring in diehard Marvel fans. I can't argue with that. But it's also one of those things that's like, I do kind of want that. I am a sucker for that shit. Okay? So on the one hand, yes, are they just sprinkling awesome, dope things to get me to go in there? Hell yeah. But is that why I'm in there and why I love it? For sure. So it's like, I see your point. Can't fully get on board with you there, but I do understand what you were saying. Okay? Let's see here. Billy Russo says, may I request a short okay. That's all we can do. Solid Thursday night numbers? Cool. Let's check it out. I'm going to do some Googling real quick. You guys think these are solid numbers? I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy. But it did 8.8 milli. Black Widow did 13.2 in previews. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, it's too early to call. Too early to call. We'll see. We don't have to talk about that right now. We can talk about that on Monday. We don't have to talk about that, you know what I mean? What happened to the juicy Star Wars things? I can't talk about them. I can't. I talked to dude, trust me, bro. And I can't. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. I can't do it. Now, there's some stuff I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm going to talk about the Boba Fett story that Star Wars Newsnet ran yesterday. And I will put some new stuff in there. I've got at least one thing that I don't think you've heard anywhere about that show, Book of Boba. So I'll be talking about that. But I can't really talk about some of the things that I would love to talk about. It just is what it is. It'll come out eventually, and we'll talk about it then, okay? So it is what it is. My bizzle for Rizzle. Who do you think was receiving the message from the rings? I mean, I'm pretty confident that it's Galactus. Do I know how to use the hotline hold things of all that? Pick me, says Mike Porter. I think I know how to do it. So let me see here. Well, Mike, can I just give you a call on Discord? Wouldn't that work? I could just call people on Discord, yeah? Let me try it. I want to start with Mike Porter because he'll shift the vibe of the whole stream. He'll put it back into a very positive place, you know? Mike Porter is a special kind of human being, you know? Mike, if you're watching, I'd love to give you a call, bud. Just to see what you think about things. See if you think I've turned everybody against you. Or me. Enrique, I missed your super chat. My bad. Let me scroll up. Okay, I got you right here. It says 10 rings, 10 turtles. Coincidence? You know, now that you mention it, some of the Eternals tech does look kind of similar to the way that the 10 rings go. Very interesting. Very interesting. Just the on hold and hotline area is specifically for this kind of stuff. Okay. Are you talking about like on the server? On the server? Like the community stage or what? Let me see here. What are you talking about here? See here, we got some morning stream stuff. Den of Nerds waiting room. Is that where y'all are at? In the waiting room? Hello? Nope, I'm alone in there. What about the community stage? I could start a stage. Hello? Hello? Oh, Nerdvengers stage. Okay. And members only area. Yeah, Ryan's making fun of me right now. He's like, dude, he has no idea how to work Discord. It's true. I don't know how to do it, okay? I don't know how to do it. I'm on the members only stage right now. I'm going to invite Wait, okay, this is how I do it. I go here, invite people. Let me invite. Let's get Trev in here. Let's invite Trev while we figure out if Mike can get on here or not. Mike says, "What do I do?" I'll get you in a second here, Mike. Trev, did you get that invite to the stage? Let me see if I can invite Mike Porter. Why can't I see? Mike, what the heck? What the heck? Okay, I think I got Trev in here. It says you're muted, bro. Are you muted?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Sorry, I had you a little loud. I got you pulled back now. What's up, my friend?
Not much. Just trying to show you how to use Discord properly.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Did you see the flick yet or what?
No, I'm gonna go see it this afternoon. Actually, I got my Jeep's getting an oil change right now, and I'm just after I pick it up, I'm gonna go to the movie theater, maybe with my nephew and because my kid's with his mother, but
Gotcha.
with my nephew and go watch Shang Chi. So I think I'm gonna go to about an hour and a half.
That's great. That's great. You're okay with a little spoilerage then, I assume, then, since you've been in here.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's not really that big a deal.
I'll be interested to see what you think about the movie. What do you think about the whole theater streaming thing? You know what I mean? I've been sort of on that for a little bit. I mean, what do you think of that?
I think it's a dying thing. I agree. Like you said, I think people are just going to be used to streaming stuff and everything else. And I think when we're looking at stuff like 5-6 years from now, maybe it'll be movie theaters are going to be very lessened, I think, over the course of time.
Yeah.
I just we're seeing probably this decade that we're in right now might be the last hurrah for movie theaters is my guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not a prognosticator, but that's just what my guess is that by 2030, it'll be mostly streaming, mostly internet related stuff. And because what's the point? What's the point of going to do all these things there?
Yeah,
the experience at the movie theater isn't that much greater than your experience at home. If you have and everybody has a 42 at least or 50-inch TV nowadays.
Yeah,
at the very least, right?
Yeah,
everybody has that. It's not like it's.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's, and this was something I think we talked about this during 2020 when we were saying man, they needed to do something to incentivize or to create a better experience for people to get them to come to the movie theater. So these draft house things, and or perhaps bringing a celeb into a theater or doing maybe a comic book signing or giving out some kind of specific merch or something. These are ways to create more value to going to the theater. And to me, man, I don't think I haven't seen much of Hollywood or the theaters or NATO. There's that group NATO. They're all the theater owners.
North American theater owners.
Yeah, they just seem to be complaining about streaming, complaining about the studios moving to streaming, and not really offering up a better solution or even a reason as to why people should go to the movie theaters. And so,
you think that's a deal that the studios would have to make with that theater chain, though? Say, so we're opening the next big Marvel movie in your theater chain.
Mm-hmm.
How many theaters do you think this theater chain has where we can have a celebrity?
Yeah.
How many celebrities that are in this movie can be at? You're only going to be able to have them at the big openings, in New York and Los Angeles, at your very Chicago, Toronto, maybe Vancouver. Your very biggest ones, and there's not enough. That's not going to be worth it enough unless if you're simulcasting it.
Yeah.
In every theater, every theater, let's say the 7:00 show or the 9:00 show in New York, the 6:00 show in Los Angeles, and everybody can input questions, and a moderator will pick out the questions for the celebrity to answer at the same time. But even then, that's got to be a headache. That'd be a major.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's not.
Yeah, it's a headache for sure. I would say that there's different things they could do. I remember one time I went to when I went to see one of the Star Wars movies, they had like a really special behind the scenes thing that played before the film. And I've seen stuff like that that's cool, and I've also seen stuff like that that's horrible. You know what I mean? That doesn't really do it for me. But I don't know. It's here. Let me try to send this to Mike real quick because he's about to hop in the theater, so I want to get in here, get him in here. Mike, follow this link I'm about to send you there, man. Join that voice channel. And Trev, I'm gonna let you go, brother, but I'll talk a little bit about the point that you made here, because I do think it's a good one. So yeah, let me and also just let me know when you see the movie. I'm interested just on the Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it probably for the 1 o'clock show here, so I'll probably get it around 3:30 or something like that. So.
Cool, man. Cool. Sounds good, brother. Sounds
all right. I'll talk to you.
All right, brother, man. Thank you. Yep. So I think Trev made a good point there. It's and Mike, click through that link and you can join me here, brother. So it is an interesting question about like celebrity and how to do all that sort of stuff. The truth is, if the theaters were like wired into the web, and instead of doing this really archaic system of putting it on prints or even digital prints and then sending it to theaters and having it be this like sort of exclusive locked in thing, if they were all hardwired in, like let's just be real, if these were huge OLED screens that were connected to the web, then you could do a lot more interesting stuff. And you could have somebody in LA, like a Simu, doing a live stream out to all the theaters, and you could only get to that live stream if you were in the theaters at the time. That would be a way of sort of taking the future stuff and where the tech is going and integrating it into that old system. There's stuff they could do with NFTs. You guys know I'm friggin' obsessed with NFTs and with that technology. So there's a lot of fun stuff that they could do with that. But yeah, I mean, to me, it is old thinking, just not being able to adapt to, I think, the new value proposition that's established. And really, the genie's out of the bottle, man. Like, and you could blame the studios for that for sure, but it was going that way regardless. It's really hard to, once you've done something new like this and had a movie just come out digital, like a big Marvel movie just came out for $30 on digital, and we were able to watch it, rewatch it. Like, I probably would watch this movie 3 or 4 times over the weekend if I had it digitally right now. But I'm not going to watch it again at all, going into the movie theaters. So it's just kind of an interesting situation there. So, but yeah, much appreciated, Trev. Appreciate you being here. Mike is saying doesn't work. It's not working. All right, let me just give you a call, Mike. Let me just give you a call. Dun, 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 dun. And then I'll pick a couple other people on the channel. We'll have a few more call-ins, guys. But then I've got to get out of here because we have the stream at noon for the Prime members. Mike, I started a voice call for you, brother, so you can just pick that up whenever. Whenever. What was with the call thing? I don't really hear it, says somebody. We're going to start doing call-ins on Fridays. So if you're a member to the channel and you're on the Discord, you can get into the members-only section of the Discord, and we'll have a couple of people call in each Friday, join the show, and we'll talk about other things. Now, today's a little... Hey, here he is. Here he is.
Hey,
Mike, how are you?
well, it's a boomer working on technology. As everybody knows, I'm about 70,000 years old. Yeah. I remember when Shang Chi's father got those rings.
Dang.
It was in the tablet at the time, and I'm not talking about computer tablets. Nice. Hey, real quick, because I know you love to imitate me, and here I am stuttering, but you love to imitate me. And also, the people that are listening to me now, let's just get this out of the air right now. I'm Hank Hill, and I sell propane and propane accessories.
Beautiful, man.
Because yeah. Look, and I know I'm Mr. Sunshine.
Yes.
And I know I'm that guy. Mm-hmm. Thank God for a guy like me.
I agree.
I mean, I have seen some of the movies that I like better than others, but of course I grade it at an upgrade. I think even Thor: The Dark World, I put that at 8.5.
Wow.
But you have variations all the way to 10, and I will call this a 10 plus.
Whoa, a 10 plus, Mike.
the reason why is it to me, and I know the Eternals is coming out, but to me, this is the most beautiful MCU movie I've ever seen, and one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or any of the beautiful movies overall I have seen. You know, I didn't really get into a lot of the martial arts, so I didn't see all the Hidden Dragon and all that.
Yeah.
So of course, it hitting me differently. I was blown away with the fighting dancing.
Yes.
You know, so what I really enjoyed, and another point I want to bring up is that Aquafina, I think one of the reasons why she's a core member there is because she was casted first.
Mm.
And at the time she was casted, she was very hot.
Okay.
I mean, popular
Yeah.
as far as everything goes. So I think they wanted to give her as much. Now, I thought her humor was great. I will say that yes, it's a little bit of a Mary Sue that all of a sudden she picks up a bow and arrow and she's knocking them down. So yes, I understand that, but I will allow it.
Yes.
There is no deduction in there for me. And I personally thought she was funny. The humor was on par. I think everything that you would like about a movie, you are going to get this. It's not, I guess it could be sad in places, definitely heartfelt. But as far as if you want humor, you want action, the fantasy element is what really got me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that was going to play out because, you know, I didn't want any spoilers, but things were starting to drip out a little bit.
Yeah.
You knew what was going to happen with, what was it, Chicken Pig?
Right. Yeah.
I actually thought I saw that on an ad. So,
yes, it's on yeah. So there was some of that in some of the advertisements. Yeah. And
it came out of a car or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe a car commercial or something. I don't recall seeing that exactly, but
it could have either been a quick Shang-Chi ad or it could have been a car ad.
Yeah, could have been.
But, you know, I mean, listen, as much as I'm, you know, and I think you misunderstood me yesterday, too. Look, I'm a Georgia Tech college football fan.
Yeah.
And when it's game day, we think we're going to win the world.
Yes.
In reality, we usually lose. And I think if you think about the movie being defense, the defense is spot on. But the offense of the box office, there might be a little bit of a problem there. When I went to the theater, now my wife likes the recliners. So when we were there, we were in the smaller theater, but only by 40 or 50 seats.
Gotcha.
So they have about 3 big screens there. They have something, I'm at NCG, and it's called Extreme. So that is their version of IMAX. So it's about 40 or 50 seats, maybe 60 seats more. And when I went to Black Widow, there was only 20 seats available. Last time I checked before, their movie started an hour before mine, it was only about half sold.
Yeah.
And my theater was only a half sold. Now, what I think will happen, though, is I think Black Widow will get the first big week, and I think in the second week, because of the word of mouth, that it won't have quite a drop off.
Yeah, that'll be clutch.
I think the movie will do well, but it probably won't do as well as I would like it to do because I am concerned about other movies being pushed back.
Sure.
Now, I will say this. Anybody that knows me in the community knows that I do everything on my phone.
Yeah. So
when I watch any of the apps or anything, I'm watching it all on my phone. I have a crappy TV. My house is okay, but I love going to the theaters. And especially I get the nice recliner and everything like that. and I'm an old dude, but I like the theater, whole theater thing. But anyway, all I've done is talk. All I've done is blab.
No, it's all good, Mike. No, look, people love what you got to say, and they love your perspective on things. People were saying, "Oh, we love Mike, but his rating system needs a little bit of work." You know what I mean? But no, Mike, I totally get you. And just to comment on yesterday, and I sort of tried to say this in the member stream. I think it's just simply different vibes and situations. Like, and I totally understand. Like, we're all really big MCU fans, and so when Endgame came out, or Infinity War and that crazy lead up, or even WandaVision and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki, there's this sense of anticipation, and we're all really, really excited. It feels like we're rooting for our team and we're into it. I didn't want to take away from that feeling or that vibe yesterday at all, but I feel like, frankly, this situation is different, and there's just a lot of externalities that I think bear mentioning, you know what I mean, or are worth mentioning, like the fact that I do think in some ways Feige has put this movie out to pasture, and I think it will underperform, and it would have done better had they just released it day and date digital. And that's a huge narrative that's out there, and it's just something that I feel like I have to bring up. And I wasn't trying to be negative yesterday, but me, man, like sometimes if I'm acting crazy or if I'm just performing and then somebody says something and they start to get me on another thing, like you guys were getting me going yesterday, you know what I mean? And so like I felt the need to kind of feed off of that energy a little bit. And when I'm bringing up Iron Fist, I mean, look, it's just facts. Like, I'm not trying to be a douche, and maybe it's not the right time to bring it up.
No.
But like, Danny Rand is so much cooler in the comic books, and they do so many more cool things with that character. Shang Chi is not that same type of character, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of where I was at with it. But no, I understand where you're coming from, and I wasn't offended.
Well, I mean, I think I agree with you a lot. It's just that I was just rah, but I totally agree and know where you're coming from. And like I always tell Felicity Pobel, speak your truth, Nikki.
Yeah.
Speak your truth. And I don't want to be that guy that poo-poos on your truth. And sometimes when you text something, it's like, why are you being negative? I was doing it in a sarcastic way, but how can you read that,
Yeah. So, yeah, I know.
Everybody sees me as a sweet guy, but I'm also a sarcastic jerk. So, but hey, getting back to my rating thing,
yes,
I will tell this: the Thor: The Dark World was the worst MCU movie in my eyes.
Okay.
I would rather see that movie than half of the other superhero movies that has ever been out.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Whether it's Sony MCU, whether it's Sony Marvel's Fox Marvel, DC, whatever, half of that I would like to see. And look, there's such thing as 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, and so on.
Yes.
It's just I go at a higher grade. But I will say, so I am a little bit of a Pollyanna here as far as rating.
Yes.
But I can guarantee you, as far as everybody that has told me this, that they do see it as a great movie or a good to great movie, and that a lot of people that I know that are going to say that it's in the top 10.
Yeah.
I have a hard time ranking him because to me, it's like ranking apples and oranges, so that's always been a difficult. I will eventually do it, but all the listeners, everybody who hadn't seen the movie, this is worlds better than Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow had some major flaws.
Yes.
What you guys are talking about flaws, yes, I understand it, and you're probably right. But it wasn't as major as Black Widow. Saying that, Black Widow was still a good movie, and I would watch it, over a lot of those other movies.
Yeah, no, and
So,
I get you, brother. I get you, and I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go, Mike, but I'm gonna talk about some of
thank
the
you.
things you talked about. Appreciate you as always, brother, and we need people like you in the Nerd Vengers. So you're a shining light on the hill, and you do keep me in check because sometimes I can get a little negative about things. So I
Well,
appreciate you, brother.
here's the thing about me. I don't know the knowledge that you do, and of course, you're with martial art and you're a filmmaker, and you've done all that, and I don't have the knowledge that everybody else does in the community. But I definitely have the what's the word I'm looking for? I have the love.
Yes.
I have the passion.
Yes.
And I might be the most passionate MCU guy out there without the knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate the time,
man.
and going to leave in 10 minutes to see it again.
Nice, bro. Well, enjoy yourself. We'll see you on the Discord. We'll see you in the chat, Mike. Always a pleasure, brother. Okay.
Love you.
I love
Bye.
you right back. Take care, man. All right, I'm going to try to do one more call, and I apologize, guys. We won't be able to get to everybody today. We'll be doing calls every Friday with the members, and I want to bring in somebody that has been on hold for a long, long time, I believe. Let me double-check the chat here. Yeah, I believe Mark has been in there the longest. Let me see if I can find Mark. Now, I know you're on the stage, Mark. Are you're Ginji Mark, right? So I'm actually just going to give you a message and then a call. So I just messaged you, my friend. Accept that message, and we'll give you a call, and we'll get you in here. And I apologize. I know I wanted to have Kendall on the show as well, but this took a little longer than I thought with the calls. So let's get a call here with Mark, and then we'll call it. We might push back the probably 12:15 guys for the Prime stream now, just because we're running a little bit late. But we'll go from there. And let's see. Hey, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So you're on. What are your thoughts just about the film, or just kind of what's going on in the nerdy world, man? What are your thoughts?
So you read off my super chat really early on. I was the one who said, "Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon?"
Uh-oh.
I tried to ask you it as a question. I didn't try to say, because I've never actually watched it. I just know the one scene where Agent Carson, or whatever his name is, makes the reference to the Alaska cell.
Okay.
That Abomination's in, and obviously we see kind of what that kind of looks like in the movie.
Okay, that's
Spoiler
cool.
alert.
I didn't actually, I didn't actually make that connection, but that is cool. And if you can send me a little more info on that, I'll look that up as far as from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but that's cool.
Yeah, I'll try to find it in one of the episodes when he speaks of it, because it's kind of like, oh, do you want? I think he's like referencing like talking down to like another agent or something. Like, do you want to be sent to Alaska to watch over Kershovsky's monster or something like that?
Okay.
And so it's like interesting. I know most likely they're not gonna put it as a canon, but it's interesting because it also has the Darkhold in it as a different book, and so it's like obvious that they would maybe not do that. But it's just interesting that they would reference that. But yeah, this is definitely a top 3 movie for me, barring No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, because it'll probably push it back to the 5th, and those two will go ahead of it. Because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Wasn't too thrilled with the Andrew Garfield. The first one was good. The second one I wasn't thrilled about. I only watched like the first hour of it, and I was like, nah, this isn't good. But I loved all the Toby ones. I've loved Holland. I'm just excited for what's coming. I personally, as being a cinematography major, I was just like, holy crap, that dragon's awesome. The visuals in this movie are crazy. Like, so much farther ahead than almost any other Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they put all their budget into the visuals or something?
Yeah. I wonder what the budget was for the movie. But that's kind of, I mean, dude, top 3. There's a huge catalog of I think great movies in the MCU. So you were kind of implying there that the visuals, you think it's bad, that's something you really care about, and it's better than a lot of the other Marvel movies. So it pushed it up there.
Well, yeah, because like if you look at the visuals for like Ragnarok too,
yeah,
like that one was super pleasing when they went to Zakar.
Yes.
For me, I was like, holy crap, this is really cool, and like just like them taking, because obviously, like you said, the early leaks were that, oh, this is going to be a fighting tournament. Oh my gosh, this is just going to be like a whole bunch of different like super cool hints at different things like Wolverine or something like that.
Yeah,
or other mutants. But like the fact that it went this direction, and once we get into the village and they talk about this like dark creature, because we had that poster that you asked somebody that was seeing it early, if that was going to be like a second dragon. But no, it was like this just like massive badass creature that comes out of this dragon scaled gate. Did you notice that was dragon scaled as well, like everything else?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah, man. I mean, I loved that whole ending part. I absolutely loved, and yeah, there's so much cool visual stuff happening there. And the creatures themselves, like how when they tried to use the regular weapons, they were like dissolving and like that kind of stuff. I thought that was fantastic. And then the big creature, the darkness dweller or whatever, dweller in the darkness. Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. And so that part of the movie to me, like, made it incredible. Like the whole movie, it elevates it to that level. But for me personally, even though it's like I like the movie, like I mean, I gotta go like Winter Soldier, the original Iron Man, you know what I mean? Like Civil War, like the first Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Ragnarok, like those are the ones to me that are like standing at the top of the pantheon. But as far as an origin movie, it might be one of the better origin films we've seen in the MCU. That's kind of what I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might hate me for this, but I think Guardians 2 is better than 1.
Dang, bro. Dang. No, it's all good. Different strokes, different folks, man. You probably know how I feel about it. I really didn't like Guardians 2, but
I know you didn't like it. But I was as this movie went on, I was just blown away, and I'm excited to see what his like future holds. The thing that I was like, is that really the best they could do for an end credit scene? Like, I know there was like huge things like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel's in there. Oh yeah, we have the split banner in there. Oh yeah, Wong's in there. But I'm like, where's Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think this movie goes parallel with
Eternals.
With Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like, I think because you know how in the trailer Wong is leaving. I think this is like on the exact same time frame.
Yeah, I mean that could very well be. And no, I understand what you're saying there. I think to me, like, so the rings themselves are way different than they were in the comic books, right? Because in the comics they're alien technology, they have all different abilities, and in this one you don't really know too much about it. But I think that sort of, for me, why it's hype is like, for the first time maybe since Endgame, I'm getting like informed about how the Avengers are functioning on the planet and like what is the status quo, and like that was enough for me, coupled with the Hulk thing, and also like I'm pretty confident it's calling Galactus, you know what I mean? So like there was, to me, it's a little bit of the nerdy kind of sweaty stuff going on, but I was like, man, I really really liked it, but I get you for sure.
So that's like so you're thinking if it's hinting Galactus, then that means that we're getting closer to the Fantastic Four and all that?
Oh yeah. No, definitely. And I think that the rings themselves visually might be setting up what we could expect for some of the look of maybe Galactus or even the Silver Surfer. And yeah. So that for me is pretty fun stuff, man. So,
well, I appreciate the call. I don't want to hold you up too long. You have people in your comment saying hang up the call.
Oh, no, you're good, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support, and we'll do more of these call-ins on Friday, so maybe we'll have you in next week and we'll be talking about something else. And I appreciate you for sure. Thank you. Yep, take care, bud. All right, let's get Kendall in here for just a second. We're running real late. But let's get Kendall in here for just a second. See what Kendall's got to say. He loves the movie, so let's see what he's got to say. By the way, you guys, I don't want to be this guy, and I don't know if I can say this because I don't like flip-flopping, but some of you guys are so passionate about this movie. You're literally making me want to go see it in theaters again. So I don't know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like the call-in ideas. Kendall, I just called you, bro, on our DMs. So you should see it in a second. So, cool stuff. And again, we'll be doing call-ins on Fridays from now on. Kendall, you're live. What's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Hold on, let me turn. I can barely hear you on my end. All right, I'm here now.
Gotcha. So, top 5 for you.
Top 5.
Okay.
And I got 3 points. I can get in and out of it really quickly, Josh. Here.
All right, hit me, bro.
Here for you, brother. So, first off, just the movie itself. I'm a Kung Fu movie fan. And I understand what you were like when you laid out your point about the action. Like at first I was like, action was lacking. But no, when you brought up the Ip Man points, when it comes to the actual Kung Fu,
right.
It didn't give us like that Kung Fu moment like you get in Ip Man and like you get in, like say, one of my favorites is Bruce Lee's Fearless. So I get that. Or is it Jet Li's Fearless? But what they did with the Kung Fu element at the beginning, it felt like an Ip Man movie, like with just the grace of what they were fighting for. So you got that, and then you got another Kung Fu element with the American type of Kung Fu that they got in, like say with the bus scene and with the scaffold scene with the Jackie Chan style.
Yeah.
And then you get the blood sport element, like the I go to my mind like Jet Li's Fearless.
Yeah.
So you get those type of elements in there, and then to cap it off with the MCU stuff at the end, as a movie that was perfect. The cultural things that they had to juggle with it as well. I think they did a great job of doing that, making it not seem too woke. Still, like you said, making Shang Chi the alpha. You know what I mean? Like those elements, just the storytelling puts that storytelling element up there. So. My top 5 is, any day, Infinity War and Winter Soldier can switch any day.
Yeah.
Those can switch. Then I go down to Captain America, Civil War. And then my top 5 is Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Makes sense, yeah.
But I think this knocks out Guardians of the Galaxy by a hair. I think this knocks out Guardians of the Galaxy by a hair. Just one, because of the story. The graphics were there. Somehow, to me, the graphics are like almost kind of flawless. Like that dragon.
Come on. Dope. That dragon was dope.
Like it was times where it felt like I'm sorry. Like I can't understand folks talking about the graphics because how much clearer do you want a dragon to look?
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah.
The dragon was there. So to me, just the 4 styles of Kung Fu, the homage that they paid to the Kung Fu, the story that they had in there with the father, like I didn't expect the Mandarin that thing with Sean Wei. I did not expect for it to go down that way.
Yeah.
So that threw me off. So just all that coming into and then heading up with that ending, I felt the same way, bro, when I was watching in theaters. That damn, I wish we would have got this for Black Panther. Like I was like, damn, why couldn't Black Panther look like this or gotten this type of story? So all of that and like even the design with the rings. Like
so cool visually. I mean, such a fun. The VFX team must have had a blast designing that kind of stuff. Did you notice some of the parts where he's jumping off the rings?
Bro, I have one. When he knocked him in the water, he put 5 rings on his belly. Mm-hmm. He put 5 rings on his stomach, and then he used the other 5 rings to punch him into the water.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, who thinks of that?
Yeah.
Who thinks of that? So like that whole thing worked out. Now, the reason I don't give it a 10 is because of Aquafina a bit. Like, I feel the same way. Like, why is she here?
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, why? I was like, all right, this is when the Mandarin would not bring her to America. It made sense for Shang-Chi to take him to meet his sister.
Sure.
But for the Mandarin to want to take him back to China, like, it's
doesn't
like,
make
that's like
sense.
the top secret.
Yeah. And then Wong, too. Like, what? Like, why is she there in the post-credit scene?
It's top source information.
Yeah.
Like, it's top secret information. Like, no, but I mean, whatever they had planned, if she was going to be a sidekick or whatever. But to me, like, that's why, at least for me right now, yesterday I was saying top 3, but then I had some time to sit down on it. And it's like, okay, all of these elements combined makes it a top 5. Now, I can't see where, like, the reason why it's not higher than that, if it was more tied into the MCU, like if you think about like what Civil War did for the MCU, and what Winter Soldier did for the MCU, it doesn't do that nearly.
Right.
But the story, to me, this might be one of the best stories ever told in the MCU for me.
Yeah.
And like the execution of it. So that in itself, man, like it's got me in the top 5. And again, like I said, I'm a Kung Fu, the Kung Fu movie thing, and I love, and they honored different styles of Kung Fu movies in the first like hour. So
yeah,
no, I don't know, man.
I'm with it. I like that a lot. And you just reminded me of Jet Li's Fearless. I saw that in theaters. I loved it. I haven't watched it in a long time. Bro, I'm going to watch that over the weekend. I might make Theory watch it, and we'll do it on Movie Bros. Because, like, dude, you're right. That one is phenomenal. Yeah. So, no, man, hey, look, I really appreciate you coming in here and making mention of that. The visuals were really cool. Like I said, you guys are kind of getting me hyped up to kind of see it again. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna let you go. Just to kind of end it up. Yeah, hit me.
Bruce Banner has on a gauntlet on his wrist. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I spotted it yesterday. He has on a gauntlet on his wrist.
Okay.
That's like silver, and it has like a green thing in the middle of it. I don't know if there's like some type of thing to suck away the gamma radiation or what have you. But
it might be. Yeah, it could be something that when he changes into the Hulk, will like go around his shriveled arm in almost like an Iron Man way, and it allow him to be savage again too. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, but it was on the arm that was down. It wasn't on the cast. It was on the other arm.
Okay, so maybe he has. Okay, yeah, so maybe he's got some new thing that can help him switch in and out or something.
Yeah, so that's just one thing to keep an eye on. I just want to throw that out there because I spotted it. I wanted to, just put my nerdy sense out there.
I appreciate
you, man.
Yeah.
All right.
And everybody, head on over to Normies to Nerds. Great YouTube channel. Kendall does great work over there, and he's got a silky smooth voice, as I am sure all of you noticed. We got just a couple more super chats that came in, so let me knock out a couple of those supers. And if you didn't get on the call, if you didn't get on the stream today, don't worry. We'll be doing calls and call-ins every Friday from now on, and we might even have a better system for it. I'll figure out how to do the actual Discord next week, so we'll get that going on as well. Let's see here. Dan says with the $5 holla, people will always want to watch movies as a pastime, but you all ain't coming to my house. Fair point. Cam K with a $5 holla says, quick question. When Wu was insulted by the name Mandarin, but in the one shot, Trevor was told that he stole the name and Wenwu wants it back. Why? Probably just writing that changed over time. You know what I mean? That's just I don't want to say necessarily a plot hole, but just something that was transitionally mixed up. You know what I mean? There are other examples too. Like, why does Doc Strange have the gloves in that one post-credit scene? He never has them on again. You know what I mean? There's certain things in there. And then there's a post-credit scene. Did you guys know there's a post-credit scene that actually doesn't happen in the MCU? Like, I forget which one it is, but if you look at it, it actually never happens. Like, something else happens in a later movie that makes it so that post-credit scene could not have happened. Somebody remind me of which one it is. JP says with a $5 holla, what I'm worried about is tiered pricing on streaming based on hype. $30 might be the basement. $30 could be the basement, but that's something that has to be worked on. You know what I mean? That's something that has to be worked on, and that's just the market being the market. You know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily be afraid of it. And also, too, if you got a bunch of homies and you want to do a dope premiere access, you find out who's got the best TV among you. You all pitch in, you grab it, you get a thing of beer, you get some snacks, and you just chill. Honestly, to me, I would rather do it like that. That's just me. But I do understand everybody's feelings about it and all that. So, pretty cool stuff. Much love to everybody. Again, crazy video coming out on the main channel. We're going to get into the details of the ending of the film, of this, darkness, hidden in darkness character, this crazy Cthulhu-looking thing, and how I personally believe all of this is tying into Galactus. So, look for that video coming out. Guys, give me, let's call it 12:20. We'll go live on the Prime channel at 12:20. I just want to scarf down some food and we'll be getting on there, okay? Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. No stinger today, guys, except for this one, I guess. No stinger.